Welcome to Is This Good, the show where we boldly, conclusively, and scientifically decide what things in this big wide world are good. I'm Matt Austin, and with me, as always, is production powerhouse Jason Doyle.
Hello.
Hi, JD. And he's an actor. He's a producer. He's a stand-up comedian with his own Netflix special. He's written on beloved comedies like Parks and Rec, The Kroll Show, The Good Place, and Hacks. He has a merch store where you can purchase condoms with his face on them. He's everyone's favorite internet scamp, the king of content, Joe Mande. Joe, welcome to Is This Good?
Wow, thank you. Actor first. I appreciate that.
Well, you know, some people may know you from your role on Modern Family.
Yeah, mostly TSA agents.
Is that where you get recognized most?
Yeah, that's mostly from that show, yeah.
Any feedback from people purchasing the condoms?
I should do a sort of discount sale. Like, I think the expiration date's fastly approaching, so we gotta get rid of these condoms before.
It's okay, Joe. I'll use them. Send them to me.
Yeah, you're free. They're all yours, man.
Flash sale on condoms at joemande.com. What is your best-selling piece of merch, out of curiosity?
I made a sort of a lawn sign that mimics the "We believe like water is water" or whatever. But it's all about how good the movie Michael Clayton is, and I've sold many Michael Clayton lawn signs this year.
Yeah, those are amazing, and they confuse the shit out of me because everyone has like the "in this house we believe," you know, love is love, water is water. But every time I see it, for some reason, I think it's going to be the Michael Clayton sign, which
it means a lot.
The chances of that happening are much slimmer than it being the classic.
I know, but you'll be surprised. They're all over the country. It's a slow building movement.
If I see one of those, I am 100% knocking on that door just to shake their hand.
Yeah,
Joe, I've seen you a couple times out in Los Angeles doing stand-up shows, sort of these, you know, events that are like on a patio, someone's backyard, a bar. Are you working on something in particular? Like, are you working towards something?
Things are going well, as you. I've been in the writers' room for Hacks for the last few months, so like I really can only like get out and work on stand-up at sort of these outdoor shows that you're describing. So, but yeah, I'm hoping 2023 I can shoot a new special. That's the goal.
Oh, okay, so you're working towards an hour, as they say in the biz?
An hour, yes, exactly.
One thing I always hear people talk about in comedy is like, people say, oh, you know, when you're a comedian in LA, you're not going to know if a joke is funny because those crowds are too kind. You got to get on the road. You got to go to the middle of the country. And one thing I would say is, now that I've been in LA and I've seen these rooms, they don't seem like particularly good rooms. Like I said, like they're often outside. There's sometimes not that many people there.
Yeah, you have to pause for like the police helicopter to fly over. Yeah,
that's right, flying low. But at least you get the spotlight. You know.
Yes,
that's nice.
Exactly. Yeah.
So is that a thing that you believe to be true, or is that just sort of?
I've never found the problem to be like the crowds are too nice. I feel like for the most part, the crowds are people who like have just left work and going to a show is just more work for them, you know, if they're in the industry. So it's not a crowd of people like trying to just enjoy a night off and like experience live entertainment. It's more like, oh, maybe this person, I can sign them or talk to you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just a weird industry town. So I do prefer to like try stuff out when I'm on the road. But yeah, I mean, I don't really get up at a lot of the clubs either. When I do, it's like hit or miss for sure. It's better. I like going to, you know, the heartland.
Yeah, that's right. Well, now that I've seen you at a couple of these shows, Joe, I would love to sign you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, let's talk. Well, let's see. All right. Let's see if you're good.
Yes,
you know?
Well, that's what we're about to find out. So a quick bit of housekeeping before we get started. If you have topics for a future show, email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at isthisgoodpod. Subscribe on YouTube. Review us on your podcasting apps. That helps a lot. And remember to tell a friend or family member about the show. Why? Because they're going to love it. Joe, the premise of the show is very simple. I'm going to give you a topic, and you tell me if it's good. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, and you're going to chime in, I hope. It's not just the a one-way.
It's just a
street?
monologue. This is,
Okay, all right.
It's just a sort of. This is your Spalding Gray swimming to Cambodia.
All right,
so,
I love it. Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah, your monologue is going to be about bathroom attendants. So here we go. Sam C asks, bathroom attendants, are they good? Joe, do you feel like they add that touch of class you're looking for when you go out to one of these famous Hollywood restaurants?
Absolutely not. It's like a hard not good. Like, it's the truly, like, as far back as I can remember, I found it to be like the weirdest job you could possibly have. You're like a professional loiterer in a bathroom, and you just stand there while people like remove waste from their body. You're just standing around while people are like pissing and shitting or whoever, like whatever else they're doing in there. And then like I feel like it just preys on people's guilt and shame that like you give money to them because it's like, I'm sorry you had to stand so close to that, you know?
Do you feel guilted into giving money?
Well, I try not to engage. I'm just I can't, I don't need 14 different colognes. Like I'm opting out. Like if I needed a lot of cologne ASAP, I would maybe use it and then, hand over some cash. But if I'm just like peeing and washing my hands, it's like you don't get any money from me. Like that I can handle this. And the worst is like when you do it and you're trying to just like stay out, not start a conversation. You wash your hands and then they hand you a towel and it's like, okay, well now I'm indebted to you for this towel, right? But then they're like, I'm not like really a germaphobe, but then there is a part of me that's like, I've just washed my hands, you've given me a towel, and now I've got to go like pull a wallet out of my butt area and hand you cash, which is very dirty, which like I would be like, I need to wash my hands again. Like it would just be this never-ending cycle if I do engage. So I don't give money, and I just hope that people who are richer and more guilt-ridden than me can pay my part. I'm hoping someone else. I'm basically pitching the movie Pay It backwards. I'm hoping someone after me will pay this person because I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I've never really thought of the location of your wallet as butt area versus penis area, but I guess that is the division. So you're not using the cologne because when you go into the bathroom, you're already wearing a thick mist of Davidoff.
I'm already, yeah, exactly. And then I always wonder, like, the people who do use that, just like coming back from the bathroom and sitting down, the people you're with must know that you've just sprayed yourself in the bathroom with lots, like a full layer of new cologne. It's like, it's so strange.
I'm like you, like I try to avoid. I'm not using any of their products, but the thing that is hard to avoid, like you mentioned, is the hand washing process. Mm-hmm. So the key is like you finish peeing, you got to go over and you got to turn that knob, you got to turn the faucet right away before they get to it.
Oh, before they get to it, you're right.
Then they're going to try to squeeze the hand soap on your hand. But there's usually, a standard hand soap you can get to. But the paper towel is almost unavoidable. Like, how are you going to get from the sink to
I know. And they're usually,
the dispenser? They're
sort of blocking it often.
That's right. They don't want, it's like when you buy razors at the pharmacy. They're not going to let anyone have access to that.
Right. It's bad. And what I've noticed, too, is that the love of the game is gone too. At the last few places I've been,
preach, Joe, preach.
Bathroom attendants, they're just looking at their phones. It's like, well, then I'm definitely not, like, at least be engaged. At least, like, make me feel bad. I definitely don't feel bad if you're just, like, watching Joe Rogan on your phone. Like,
it's true. AirPods have been a big advancement for the bathroom attendant community. But it's true. It's like I can see... I don't know, like, let's say you're a regular at some fancy restaurant or something, and you're having a bad day, and you're crying in the bathroom. Maybe the bathroom attendant could be there to offer a sympathetic ear, but if they are just looking at their phone, then it does sort of defeat the hospitality purpose, which I assume is why they're there in the first place.
Exactly, yeah. No, I think it is there to make places feel fancy, and it's, like, I don't know, it just seems like it just feels like a remnant from a different time. It's like it's not Great Gatsby era anymore. Like, we don't need this.
Yeah, but it's funny because I always thought that bathroom attendants were the sign of a quote unquote classy restaurant. But it is sort of like a rich man poor man thing, like they're also at dive bars too. And I think when they're at or like shitty clubs, and when they're in a fancy restaurant, it's like it's a hospitality thing. We want to offer you this fancy cologne or whatever. But when it's in a dive bar or a shitty club, it feels like it's there to keep an eye on everyone.
Yes,
and
it's
make
like
sure no one's
to break up fights, or
no
one's fucking, or like no one's trying to like rip a urinal off the wall out of like, you know, drunken anger. Yeah, so it's that's a different vibe. And you know what? I feel safer at places with those guys. Yeah,
that's true.
It's a two-way street. I will say that, like, I'm always tempted by the, like, gum and mint section. But again, I don't want to engage. But it does make me think that, like, maybe we can look forward to a world. I mean, I'm sort of picturing an idyllic sort of universe where we don't have bathroom attendants, but there is sort of gum and mints at the ready at every bathroom. And you can trust that no one's, like, done awful stuff to those mints, that everyone just like can like use these mints and like be like trusting in it, you know.
Well, we do have vending machines, so I think that could solve the problem. I mean, I guess
these are free mints. I want free mints.
Oh, these
for
are
everyone.
Free mints. Usually the free mints are at the front where the host stands.
I know. There should be more free mints just everywhere.
I think one thing that we could employ is like the mouthwash dispenser. I don't know why I associate this with funeral homes, because I don't know, there's a funeral home back in Montreal where they had like, you know, because I guess you're bereaved and you didn't have time to brush your teeth that day, but you will be interacting with a lot of people, and it just has those mini little like Dixie cups, and then you kind of put it under and it automatically goes like that. I don't see why we can't have that in more
I mean,
places.
I've never heard of that. That's very cool. Yeah,
you don't go to enough funerals in Montreal, John.
I know. I guess not. Do they have like a row of like middle tier colognes as well? Just to, you know, you're like, I haven't brushed my. It's
a scent free environment usually.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to upset people. JD, where are you on this one?
Yeah, I'm 100% good. Bathroom attendants. It's just more service for me. And it's sorry, what? You're being handed a paper towel by a bathroom attendant? What kind of bathrooms are you frequenting? It's got to be a real towel.
No, I was saying like a hand towel. Yes.
Like an actual towel. No, there's none of this dispensing of the towel at the Zanzibar, which is the weirdest place I've ever seen. Zanzibar, Joe, is a strip club in Toronto that I used to frequent. Mm-hmm. And suddenly they decided to put a bathroom attendant there. It was very strange. It's basically like a fast food bathroom. But there was a guy there in a tux all of a sudden one day. And I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. But, you know, I like it. I like being handed stuff and just the small chit-chat and stuff. The only thing I don't like about it is that we kind of talked about this last time, but I don't like peeing when people are around me. So I don't like to be watched.
Well, that's his very job.
I know. That's the problem.
Wow.
So I have to go to a stall. And one thing I will also say about bathroom attendants, when you walk into that bathroom, if they're doing their job, it's spotless in there.
Yeah, but equally, you could just hire a janitor that comes in once every 10 minutes. Someone with a bucket and a mop. Someone with the tools to keep it clean.
The bathroom attendant has the tools. You've been to Vegas. You've seen them in there.
You reminded me of the weirdest bathroom attendant placement that I can remember, which was there was a short-lived comedy club in New York in the Meatpacking District called Comics with an X. And and I don't know what happened, but like they decided to open a sort of secondary, smaller room in the basement. So there was the main stage, and then like a smaller room for like more, you know, experimental or like open mic-y type shows for like up and comers. And that show was in that room was in the basement, literally next to the bathrooms. So the comedy club is trying to, you know, portray itself as kind of, high class or whatever. So there was a bathroom attendant, but he was right next to the like worst shows the club had to offer. So it's just like all these like broke comics going in there like over and over again. And so you just like be interacting with this poor guy in a suit, like dressed way better than anyone at the show, obviously. And, just like not paying him 20 times a night. It was really uncomfortable.
And when the comics go in, they're taking massive anxiety dumps.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Yeah, it's like nightmare.
And then going on stage and being like, "What's the deal with bathroom attendants?" Huh? The guy pulls out one of his AirPods. He's like, "The fuck you said?" I think definitely the best bathroom attendant move is when they are super engaged and they're treating it like an air traffic controller, and they're just like, "You okay? That stall's open. Oh, you go
yes.
there."
Yes.
But Joe, before the show starts, we poll people on Twitter just to see where, general spirit's at. So the results of this one, I don't know if there's ever been such a landslide vote in anything we've done on the show before, but 89% of people say bathroom attendants are not good.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me because I think it just honestly gives people anxiety. People kind of panic.
I don't panic.
You're a cool customer.
I
All right,
love it.
Next topic. K. David and Tom H. ask, leaving a party without saying goodbye. Is this good? The old Irish goodbye. Let me start by asking you this, JD, as an Irishman. Can we say Irish goodbye?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
You can't say anything these days, You
can't say French exit.
Yeah.
You can't say Dutch leave. What are all the? It's just like a bunch of European nations being like, "No, you're rude."
Right.
Like, I don't know.
No,
I tried to pin
you fart under a blanket.
So, Joe, where are you on this one? You leave without saying goodbye when you go to a party?
Absolutely good. Good 100%. No one cares. It's a party. No one's thinking about you. It's a sign of narcissism, I think, to think like, oh, I have to tell the person I'm leaving. Like, it's like, no, that person's busy hosting a party. Like, they don't care.
But what about to say thank you? Hey, thanks for having me. I'm out of here.
If it's like on the way out, sure. But that's also implied to me. Or you can text the next day. But wow, what a party.
100% agree. The next day text is actually much nicer because then it shows that the positive effects of the party have lingered into the next morning.
Yeah, fair.
I think there's only two scenarios where it's absolutely necessary.
Okay.
To say goodbye to the host if you're at a party. If you're the last one there, can you imagine leaving without saying goodbye and you're like helping clean up and then you just bounce? That would be hilarious. So you can't do that. And if you're the first person there and you're leaving before another person makes it, you gotta say something. But otherwise, it does not matter.
So you're basically saying if you're alone.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about, so you don't feel like fealty to the host to say thank you when you leave, but what about your friends? What about the people you came with?
Again, it's sort of like, maybe this is just because of my own sort of privilege as a married man, but like, I don't feel like I need to say goodbye to anyone unless I'm like on the way out, I'll say goodbye to people, but like no one's concerned about my well-being. You know what I mean? Like, perhaps if I were in my 20s and I was worried about a girl in our friend group leaving unexpectedly, I might be nervous, and I would hope that she would let us know if we all came as a group, or vice versa. There's a sort of like communal safety in that scenario. But like, once you get older and everyone's sort of accounted for, like, no one cares.
So you're saying that now that you're married, divorce is the only goodbye that is necessary to give.
Yeah, and when I get divorced, that's going to be an Irish goodbye too. I'm just going to dip. Yeah. She won't even know.
I think if you are the host, like, people think, oh, it's so rude to say goodbye, to not say goodbye to the host and thank them. But if you're the host, let's say you have 15, 20 people over, do you want to spend the back half of the party saying goodbye to people and being constantly interrupted when you're trying to engage your guests? Like, I'm sorry to pull you away for a second, just wanted to say such a lovely evening. And also, the goodbye chat is the smallest of small talks. Like, there's nothing to say except it was great.
Yeah.
Bye. And that gets extended over like 5 minutes. So, JD, I take it you're against this, and it's an affront to your people?
It's an affront to my people. With the people that you're with, I am fine with not saying goodbye. You just leave. But the host of the party, I think that you're selling me this line that I'm doing them a favor by not saying bye and thank you for having me at your house. I think that's just not. It's just not. It's just kind of rude. I do get the. Sure, yeah, I text them. It also depends on the type of party.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm picturing a big party. If it's a dinner party, yeah, you gotta say goodbye.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. If you invite, like, let's say 2 couples over to your house and one of them leaves without saying goodbye, I wouldn't assume they've gone. I would assume they're lost somewhere. They're lost somewhere in my 500.
I don't know though. If I was the host, I'd be like, "That was cool. That was cool." I looked up; they were gone. I was like, "Wow, that's impressive."
I also want to be. I want to be begged to stay. Oh, don't go.
No, I don't want that. I don't. That's that. I wrote that down as one of my reasons to leave because if you're like, let's say the times when I've Irish goodbye most are in my slightly younger days when I was getting drinking much more than I am now.
Yeah.
And when you feel yourself tip over into that point where you're like, uh-oh, I'm too drunk to be out amongst people now.
You've usually
you just want to get
over.
the hell.
That's the moment when you've basically fallen over.
So you're looking at the ceiling going, maybe I should leave. I don't want to be convinced to stay. And I don't want to have a slurry worded conversation where I'm like, I gotta go, I called the Uber, what. So I think, like, if you want to leave, you want to leave. No one's going to say anything to convince you to stay.
Right.
Just go.
Except for shots. We're doing shots, Matt.
Yeah, even worse.
Yeah.
69% of people say leaving a party without saying goodbye is, what do you think, Joe?
Good.
Correct.
All right. Yes.
Yes.
So
You're winning at this game.
Thank you. Great.
JD, I guess you're the only one bringing a touch of old world class with bathroom attendants and shaking people's hands as you're departing.
I'm older than dirt.
All right, next one. This one comes from Subdued Noodles on Instagram. He asks, tarot cards, are they good? What are tarot cards? Maybe I'll start there. A deck consists of 78 cards broken down into 2 categories, which, JD, say them with me. Major Arcana and Minor Arcana, okay? We all knew that. Mm-hmm. Moving on. Dates back to 14th century Europe. The cards are a tool of divination to help you tap into your own intuition and the wisdom of the universal energy that guides your life. And just in explaining this, Joe, I think you're going to be very into it. That's my guess. Where are you on this one?
I might shock you. I think overall tarot cards are good. I find them to be like adjacent to astrology, but there's a more like human to human connection with it that like I may have been more cynical in years past, but my wife loves doing Zoom tarot card readings with her friends and finds a lot of like insight. Like I don't think she's like changing her life to match things that are said in these sessions, but I do think that it's just like gypsy therapy. You know what I mean? It's just like someone sort of like it is like an intuitive thing and just sort of like helping people figure out sort of dilemmas in their life, and there's like some sort of chaos involved with the cards, but like I don't see any bad with it other than like the type of person who might like literally try to like listen too closely to these fortune telling sessions and like try to like change fate in some way and just like dictate their lives through what they're told in like the card sessions. But like if you have a healthy relationship with what it is, I think it's fine. I think it's good.
So your wife isn't standing over your shoulder now with the sword card, right? Telling
yeah. No.
Oh no, the hangman! Joe, the hangman! Beware.
You know what's interesting is like she gets annoyed because when she does tarot card readings, stuff about me comes up, and I get after the fact. She'll be like, "Oh, she said something good's going to happen with your career in the beginning of next year," and it's like, "Great." I mean, I didn't have to sit through that.
What card brings you up? Is it perhaps the Fool? and I say that
Oh, thank you. That's not pejorative. Yeah.
It's not pejorative.
No,
in
I'm
the
a
sort of
professional
comedians
fool.
have come from, the jester, the jester community.
Yeah,
Jester
yeah,
Hive stand-up.
Totally. I mean, I come from a long line of professional fools.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you're probably not the magician.
I don't know. I am a multi-hyphenate, so...
One thing that I found interesting is that, I didn't know this, but tarot cards are just playing cards. Like, they started as, like, a game, like, just like we have our regular playing cards. And then they morphed into this, fortune-telling device.
That's cool, because it makes me think that maybe in 800 years, like, people will be playing cards against humanity, but it'll be like, it's sort of like a fortune-telling, like, sort of mystical way.
You have got the douchebag card. or you know what? It's 700 years. What if people are, like, doing this with Pokemon cards, and they're like, oh no, you pulled the Charmander.
Yeah. That's a terrible
card. News for you. The one thing that confuses me with tarot cards is if they are just like regular cards, why are they always so big? Like they're like novelty size. I guess it's just because you have to see the imagery going on. I think that
it might be artwork involved. I will say my mom, this is like one of my earliest memories, and it's like something that like haunts me to this day. But my mom had a deck of tarot cards from her like grandmother, great grandmother. They were like very old, very like precious. And I had been reading lots of X-Men comics at the time, and my favorite X-Man at that period in my life was Gambit. So anytime I could find like a deck of cards, I would like throw them around my house like Gambit. And I found her tarot cards and we're just like flinging them around. I think like 7 or 8 of them must have flown into like the air conditioning vents of our house, and I lost like half the deck. And she was so mad at me, like justifiably so. And like I've never forgiven myself because they were like they were like a family heirloom, and I was pretending to be Gambit all over my house and destroyed this like link to her like grandmother. So
that must have flew amazingly.
Oh, like, they were because they had like the right thickness. I was just like, yeah, they're bomb.
Did you ever get into that like Ricky Jay shit where you can like throw a card into a watermelon rind?
No, but I have I'm on a hiatus right now, so maybe I'll get into that this week.
Where would you rank tarot cards? Because I actually think I'm not into like a lot of this, fortune telling stuff, but I do think tarot cards are probably the best one because the art is actually interesting to look at, and it is more like sometimes when the problem's staring you straight at the face, your own problem, it's hard to attack it. But if you can see it in a card in like an oblique way, that may help you recognize something in your life. So
I think it's a combination. It's like the art is cool, like, and there's like there's a spectrum, right? There's like kind of lame ones, and then like really intricate sort of medieval ones, and then like one can be good at it. Like there is a whole element of like showmanship. So like there are people who are very good at the reading and the sort of the storytelling element of the reading. So like if you have a combination of cool cards and a good reader, like how can that not be good? But because it's a spectrum, there's an argument if you get shitty cards and a shitty reader, it's not going to be a good experience. So I guess like many things, I hate to say it, I know this is a sort of binary show, offensive. I think it might depend.
What about a Ouija board? Have you ever used a Ouija board?
I have not. I couldn't get into it because like at least like there's a mystical sort of there's a mystical element to tarot cards. Like I couldn't get into Ouija boards because it's like Hewlett Packard, not Hewlett Packard. What's the company?
Hasbro.
Hasbro. It's like so there's like a Hasbro has an in with like the dark forces of the universe. I just couldn't get it. It was like the fact that it was branded. I was like, this sucks. No way.
Yeah, it's like the same. The guy's making Candyland, then he's making the little tokens for Connect 4, and then he's like, "All right, devil, get in this box that's manufactured in China." I think Ouija board is my next favorite after tarot cards because I like the interactivity. I like pushing the thing around. But I think like if I go rapid fire through the rest of them, like anything with a crystal ball, I'm out. Yeah. Palmistry, like looking at my palm.
Nope.
No, I mean I have tiny hands. I don't think my hands could possibly tell my full story. Tea leaves? The fuck? What is that?
I don't know. That seems sort of out of my purview. Couldn't tell you.
Do you at least get to drink the tea? Is that how it works?
Great question.
You drink the tea and then it's.
I think the fortune tellers.
Are they dry? Are these dry or wet leaves? I've never known.
I always assumed it was just sort of tea left at the bottom, and you drink the tea.
Yeah, they must be pissed at matcha because that's just like a powder, so you can't even read those.
And
JD,
who's pissed in this scenario? The tea leaves? You said they must be pissed. I don't know who you're.
The people in the tea leaf reading community, Joe.
Oh, I see.
Your augurers. Tarot cards, Ouija boards, any kind of fortune telling. JD, is it good?
No, it's not good to me. I don't like anything mystical. You know me, but Joe, is it your wife? Is she giving the readings or is she receiving the readings?
She's receiving them. Okay. It's sort of like a indulgence that she lets herself experience like 3 or 4 times a year with her friends. I stay out of it entirely, and then occasionally will be told something good is going to happen to me, which is maybe why I like it, because I think she might withhold any sort of bad news.
Bad stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So that's maybe I'm realizing it's like, wait, I'm only hearing good things. So yeah, that's why I think it's good.
Well, 81% of people say tarot cards are, Joe, what do you think? Good or not good?
I bet they're going to say not good.
You're right. Haters, Joe. Haters.
Yeah,
I think probably, I don't know you that well, but I'm guessing you're someone that tends to see perhaps more of the negative in life than the positive.
Mm-hmm.
So to have someone, come out of a Zoom meeting going, fortune favors you, Joe, man.
Yeah, right. It's nice.
That's a nice thing to hear.
Feels good.
All right, before we get into the next topic, just a quick bit of backstory. So, Joe, over Thanksgiving, I was in the more rural parts of Massachusetts and rented an Airbnb. And when I was going there, I realized the check-in time is 4 p.m., which is rather late, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So we were going to be there earlier, so I sent them a message on Airbnb saying, hey, if it happens to be ready earlier, please let me know. We're going to be there earlier. Guy writes back, he says, you can come at 3. First of all, wow.
Yeah,
thank you. It's like if you're going for one night and you're checking in at 4 and you're leaving at 9 in the morning, thank you for letting me spend a good 14 hours in this home that I paid for. Anyways, he says, yes, we can get it ready for you. Housekeeper's working diligently. Just make sure that you leave a tip before you go. So I read this and I'm like, what the fuck is going? Because obviously you're paying a cleaning fee when you go to an Airbnb, and I'm wondering, do they tell everyone this, or is it just did I set him off by pressuring the cleaner to work, faster? So I'm kind of stewing over this. Then we get to the actual Airbnb, and there is a sign right when you walk in on the kitchen counter that says, "Tips for our cleanings team, thank you." And there was also, in addition to this, like a little Sadaka box style thing. That said like some clever joke on it, like the real trickle-down economy. So there was like multiple places for you to be leaving tips for the dry cleaner, not the dry cleaner, the cleaning staff at the Airbnb. So the question is, tipping the cleaning, the wet cleaner, tipping the cleaner at an Airbnb, is this good?
No, it's not. It's not, and it's not the cleaning person's fault. This is a gripe I've had actually, and why I've stopped using Airbnbs entirely is because the cleaning fees are never included in the overall price. You're always sort of like stunned at the end that there's like a secondary charge, but
not to mention the service fee, which also gets tacked on.
All of it is crazy, but like, my thing is, like, I will, before I even get into this, I will say I always tip at hotels. Always, always, always.
Okay.
Because, like, I'm not treating it like any place I would actually live. You know what I mean? Like, I'm stumbling back from wherever I am. I'm ordering Domino's. I'm eating on the bed. I'm just, like, a disgusting freak at hotels. And so, like, so it's just, like, this is sort of like a bathroom attendant dynamic where I'm like, I don't normally live like this, but it's a hotel. You're just going to bleach all this stuff. It doesn't matter. But, like, here...
Hey, bathroom attendant. I don't normally shit like this at home.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. I mean, that, like, truly, if I could shit in a bathroom at a restaurant the way I sort of live in the temporary space of being in a hotel room, it would be, like, a huge mess, and I would pay that person to have to endure that.
Understood.
Okay,
Gotcha.
No, but I always, it doesn't matter, like, how short or long the trip is at a hotel, I will leave money, because it's, like, it's a shitty job, and I doubt they get paid enough, so, like, that's the dynamic there. But, like, with these Airbnbs, the thing I always resent the most is, like, you go there, they have all these rules in their house because it's their house, like, and then you pay a cleaning fee, but then they also ask you to, like, wash all the dishes and put them away and, like, make the bed, and it's like, fuck you. No, if I'm paying a cleaning fee, like, I'm gonna fuck this place up a little bit, and it should be a tiered. I was thinking about this. It should be a tiered system based on how, like, dirty you leave the place. Like, if I do what you ask and, like, wash the dishes and put them away and make the bed, then, like, my cleaning fee should be, like, minimal, to the point that I would feel necessary to leave a tip for the cleaning staff. But, you know what I mean? If I fuck the place up, then yeah, give me the full price cleaning fee, you know? But, like, if I'm just gonna leave your place as, like, nice as I left it, like, I'm not, like, I shouldn't pay a cleaning fee to start, and I'm definitely not tipping the people who you have this arbitrary, like, cleaning duty. I'm realizing I hate Airbnb more than, like, any other app, any other establishment.
Well, so first of all, I totally agree with you. And also just this idea that, oh, like, this is our house, treat it like you would your own. Mm-hmm. That's becoming less and less true, because it used to be Airbnb was like, hey, I'm traveling this week for work, so, hey, you could stay in my house if you want.
Yeah.
But now it's like they're just buying rental properties. And they're just renting them out. They don't live there. They'll never step foot there. It's not like you're walking in and opening the closet and seeing their wardrobe. So it's basically like a hotel.
It's like you walk in. It is like a hotel, but, like, at least at hotels you can, like, call down and ask for, like, chicken fingers or whatever. You know what I mean? Like these places, you, like, walk around, there's, like, nothing in the cabinets, there's nothing to do, like, often, like, the Apple TV doesn't work because no one actually lives there.
You got to log in with your own login, then, you know, like, I'm gonna forget to log out, now everyone's gonna have access to my Crunchyroll subscription.
Actually, the only thing I like about Airbnbs is when they have, like a Fire TV or an Apple TV, and they, like, you see the queue of, like, you see, like, what the people before you've been watching on YouTube, and it's always, like, severely fucked up, like, conspiracy videos and stuff, and you're like, wow, this is, people are strange.
So, in this case, what did I have to do? I had to wash all the dishes, I had to collect all the garbage, and it was a home, so, like, if you threw one thing out in the bathroom trash, and one thing in the bedroom trash, and then in the kitchen trash, had to collect all those out. Then I'm reading the instructions, it's like, take the garbage bag, go down the stairs, go across the lawn, you will see a garage. Behind the garage, there will be a door. Open the door. There will, you know. And I still have to do all that, plus pay the cleaning fee. Did I also tip? Yes, because I don't know. I felt cowed into it.
Of course you did.
And then after all that, you're getting rated.
I'm getting rated, but then listen to the review. I wrote down the review. Just got it yesterday, actually. It said, we enjoyed hosting Matt. Communication was easy, and the house was left in mint condition. He's giving me credit for leaving the house in mint condition.
Yeah.
Honestly, the house was in mint condition. Like,
it seems like you should be getting a tip of some sort.
Yeah.
That's the real trickle-down economy, Joe. Also, I should say that one incident that did happen at this Airbnb is I actually met the cleaner because I believe she lived, it was like a duplex. I believe she lived below. And one time we were coming back from lunch, and then I hear a voice from behind me on the stairs going like, excuse me. I turn around, and there's a woman standing there. She's like, can I come in? And I'm like, no, what? She's like, oh, yeah, sorry, I'm the cleaner. And I'm like, still about to be like, no, that's for when we're not here. And then she's like, yeah, I don't know if you heard noises last night, but I set up a squirrel trap in the attic. There's a hole in there, and a lot of squirrels are coming in. So I'm just going to go check if a squirrel's there. So I'm like, okay. Next thing I know, she's opening, there was a door with a padlock on it. So she unlocks the padlock, goes up to the attic, comes down with a live squirrel in the cage. It's rattling around in there. She's like, yep, got it. You wouldn't have wanted to go to sleep with this struggling up in there. I'm like, yeah, I guess not. But then the interesting thing is, because the squirrel was squirming around, had been in that...
Okay, I was waiting for it to get interesting.
Yeah.
Because the squirrel had been in that cage for God knows how long, there was, it was rattling around, there was those tiny squirrel shit pellets everywhere on the floor when she left. And then I was like, well, it's not like I can wait till I leave for her to clean this up. So then I was literally cleaning the floors too.
I was gonna say she earned her tip by removing the squirrel, but then leaving squirrel feces everywhere makes me want to remove the tip from the equation. This is
it's the opposite of cleaning.
Where was this?
It's in Western Mass.
Western Mass, okay. Wow.
Yeah, so it's squirrel country.
Yeah, okay, gotcha, yeah.
JD, where are you on this one?
100% not good. Airbnbs, 100% not good.
Wow, and you're the best tipper I know, JD.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of Airbnb was sort of having a charming experience and somebody's, live like the locals do. And it was kind of cheaper than going to a hotel. Mm-hmm. Now it's double the price in some cases. And the Airbnbs that are rentals that have been bought as rentals, those are the best Airbnbs because I hate staying in somebody's house, where they live. You can smell their smells, and it's so gross. It's so gross. And not to be serious for a second, but somewhere like Toronto, my hometown, Airbnbs are a goddamn scourge because they just take away cheaper affordable rentals from actual families who need a place to live.
It's
so,
like these parasitic rich people who swoop in and buy 6 properties and then just churn them out, and they thought they could do that forever in perpetuity, and hopefully that ends and that they're all severely punished for their greed.
Completely agree. That being said, I do have a lovely rental property up in Ojai. It's a beautiful orchard. DM me if you'd like to stay there. Not you, Joe, because you're going to make a fucking mess of it, okay?
I'm going to fuck that place up, man. I realized as I was talking that I sound like I'm a wild animal. I guess
You're a squirrel in a cage.
I guess I find it gross to, it's the only time in my life I let myself, eat in bed. And I find that gross. And so
It is gross.
It is gross.
It's fun, though.
It is fun. And so, I feel so guilty the next day that I've done this that I will pay a tip just because I, know they have to, probably clean the duvet cover or whatever.
Yeah.
But you'd feel such a sense of accomplishment knowing you earned the highest tier of cleaning fee.
Yeah, exactly. There is something to it. And that is why I prefer hotels, too, because everything's sterile. If you go to, obviously there are gross hotels, and that's it's a whole other... that's a whole other discussion, but a certain level of hotels, there's just a level of cleanliness that you're walking into. And with Airbnbs, you have no idea how these people live or what you're going to experience for the time you've paid so much money to experience. I'm losing it.
If your wife could come in right now and tell you good things are about to happen to you, that would be really helpful for the last back quarter of this podcast. 58% of people say tipping the cleaner at an Airbnb is not good. I was honestly surprised.
Wow,
it's
it was 50-50 basically. That's crazy.
Yeah. Joe, we've got more topics to get to, and we'll explore them now in our gently paced speed round we call the Chaotic Good. First question, Kaj H asks, being sad about your professional sports team losing, is this good? So let me ask you, I know you're a big Minnesota Timberwolves fan.
Yeah.
They do lose a lot.
Yeah.
Do you feel... Does it affect your mood when they lose?
Oh, yeah. It's literally a thing I talk about at therapy, is, like, how much my, like, mood, my emotions are swayed by how the Timberwolves are doing. And they've been bad for my entire adult life. They've been bad since 2003, essentially. So it's, like, 20 years of my life, almost, where I've just been, like miserable for 8 months out of the year or whatever. And I'm not saying that's good, but I do feel like it is a part of me, and I've earned it, and I have to, like, wear it with pride almost. That, like as a... There are certain sports franchises where you get to, like, almost, like, indulge in that sadness, right? And, like, the Wolves are certainly one of them. And so it's, like, a way of life. It's an expectation. And so, like, I think it's almost good to, like, live in that instead of being sort of, like, preposterously optimistic. Like, you know the pain you're going to endure. So I think it's good if you earn it. And I say that because my good friend Noah got into basketball literally, like, 2 years ago and decided he was a Warriors fan.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, his first year of, like, being a true blue basketball fan, they win the title, and he was so happy. And then, like, this year, they're, like, a 500 team, and he's, like, really sad and annoyed and, like, mad that, like, Jordan Poole's not playing as well as he did last year, whatever. And I'm like, you don't deserve this. You don't get to be sad. You don't get to be sad. You've been a basketball fan for 2 years, and they won the title already. With the help of Andrew Wiggins, which makes me so sad. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Oh, yeah.
It's I guess it depends, but I think if you are if you've earned it, it's good.
How long does it take to earn it, Joe?
I think you have to be a real fan for 10 years, and they have to be bad for more than 5. If that makes sense, they have to be bad for a majority of a decade.
And now that's if they won the championship in the first year that you decided to like them. So say if somebody decided, you know what, the Kings are my team. Mm-hmm. Do they get to that finish line a little quicker, or
that's interesting because I think there's like a built-in sadness there, right? So maybe that's prorated a bit.
That's what I'm looking for, prorated sadness.
Yeah. I think you buy in a bit, but. But then you also have to temper how happy you are.
I want to know the level of this. So let's say you're home, you're watching the game. Your wife's not home. She comes home from a tarot card reading. Mm-hmm. Would she immediately know whether the Wolves have won or lost by the way that you greet her at the door?
Yeah, and not only that, I think she can tell based on how scared my dogs are acting. Because
oh no,
Joe!
I know. I'll like scream. I'll scream at the TV, and then the dogs like shake and cower and like leave the room. So if they're like
Daddy's
shaking
angry
in the living room while I'm in the TV room, ranting about D-Lo, then yeah, things are bad. Yeah, she could absolutely tell.
Have the tarot cards ever predicted a loss?
I don't think you need tarot cards to
fair enough
to figure out that Wolves are going to be bad.
Let's say she comes home, but the Wolves have won. Are you as happy as you would be sad if they lost?
Yeah, I I'll be acting kind of goofy and yes, I'll be like more engaged and talkative for sure. So yeah, it's not a healthy way to live, and I have been put on mood stabilizers, I think, to sort of affect these extremes. Yeah.
It's interesting that you said you've been talking about this in therapy, because I thought your therapy was your stand-up.
Oh, certainly not. No. Actually, my therapist's
she...
office is across the street from a fancy hotel that sometimes it's like a hotel where NBA teams stay. And sometimes, like, during my therapy sessions, I'll, like, watch NBA players, like, load into a bus, and it'll look like I'm, like, lost in thought, and she'll ask me, like, where I just went, and I'll be like, oh, no, I just saw Jeremy Grant. It's just like, oh, no, yeah, no, that was Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Joe, let's do one more. I'm going to give you a choice. You want to talk washing new clothes before you wear them, or AI portraits?
Oh, wow. Let's talk AI portraits. This just came up this week for me.
Okay. Yeah, they've been going around these Lensa things.
Yeah.
You basically upload a bunch of pictures to yourself on this app, and it produces these AI-generated images of you. Are they good, Joe?
They're bad. They're bad, and I think they're bad because, I think all AI art is strange and not art and feeding some algorithm that will eventually be used for some evil that we can't even comprehend right now. I do think that. Mm-hmm. But on top of it, the thing I hate the most is that, like, all these portraits are so flattering, and that's why people keep posting them, is because it's like everyone I've seen makes people look like goddamn, like, Avengers characters or something. Like, everyone looks like a comic book hero, and it's embarrassing to be, like, that thrilled that, you know, a program was able to, like, use some basic, like, Photoshop filters on photos you fed it to make you look slightly better. So I think it's bad.
And not just better, but why is AI so horny? Like, you upload 10 to 20 pictures of yourself, and no matter what your body looks like, you come out looking like a chesty nymph.
Yeah, yeah.
You were advocating making shitty AI pictures.
Yes, I actually found it. So I use, on my phone, I'll sometimes edit stuff, and I use a program called Video Leap. And Video Leap just added a new function that is its own AI art generator, and it sucks. It is so bad, and I put in different inputs for it, and so, like, one was like, because everyone was posting astronaut photos of themselves from the real AI one, so I did that. I look fucked up, and then a couple of them I wrote. I put Joe Mande sexy, and that's the one where I have, like, 2 legs that are preposterous.
I don't understand the way those legs are going.
Me neither. Yeah. I typed in Joe Mande congressman. That's the one at the bottom left. Okay. And I don't know.
You look like a congressman in that one.
I do. I actually, like, I just look like a Republican congressman. So, like, that AI did pretty good, actually.
You don't look like a sexy Democrat, Joe. You look like a hideous Republican.
Well, I do. I look like a Republican from, like, rural Missouri. And
he's not wrong.
But, like, it's a very funny program. I've done it for a few of my friends, and it's not just me. It's, like, all my friends who have enough pre-existing photos on the internet. Like, everyone looks terrible. It is so funny. So I'm not being paid by Video Leap AI. I just think that's the way to go, because it's funnier for a computer to just, like, fuck your likeness up and make you, like, totally self-conscious. And it's the only thing I've ever done where, like, I've, like, put in those, I'll get those photos. Like, I've never like, thought of myself as, like, hot, you know? But then when I look at those photos and then look at my actual face, I'm like, oh, I'm a handsome man. And that's what you want.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
It's like swinging with a heavy bat.
Exactly.
Then,
when you
pick up the real bat and you're like, oh,
that's why, like, I think everyone's being an idiot doing this Lensa thing where they look awesome. And it's like the problem with Instagram in general. Like, you're looking at, like, beautiful photos, and this time it's your own likeness that's unachievable, and then you feel bad. You tell Video Leap to make you look sexy, you look like a goddamn freak, and then you can go on living knowing that you're not as ugly as what this computer program thinks you look like.
Couldn't agree more. Joe, let's get to the last segment of the show. It's called Subjective Trivia. Don't worry, it's a quick one.
Okay.
Subjective trivia. It's just like regular trivia, except only I know the answer.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
Today's question. You are, as we said off the top, you're a comedy writer, an in-demand comedy writer, and one of the shows you write on is Hacks. So I've pulled 5 comedy cliches, and what I would like you to do is tell me what is the best of these 5 awful comedy cliches. Now, I've written my answer on this card here,
Okay.
and your goal is to
So this is
match my
this is
answer.
the best one. This is the one that's like if this ended up on an episode of TV with my name on it, I'd be most okay with it. Is that correct?
Yeah, you could. That's correct. You could also think of it as like something you might actually not feel horrible about saying in real life.
Okay.
So just to go through them here, starting. I don't know if I should do these as line readings because I'm a terrible actor, but
I'll do them. I'll do them.
Okay, yeah, Joe. Thank you. You're
Okay.
You're
the first
an actor.
one
You were on
is
Modern Family.
Yes. Okay. The first one is I'll show myself out. Okay. Number 2 is he's standing right behind me, isn't he?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that's right. You've just been talking shit, and he's right behind you, Joe.
Thanks, Obama. That's number 3.
Yep.
I just threw up in my mouth a little. That's number 4. I think I actually said that on an episode. And so that just happened.
Oh,
Okay.
it did just happen. It
Okay.
did just happen. So you could talk it out. You can consult JD. While you're thinking again, I'll say it. I'll show myself out. He's standing right behind me, isn't he? Thanks, Obama. I just threw up in my mouth a little. So that just happened.
I have an answer, but
Okay.
I would like to. But I'm willing to talk it out as well. I just think.
Reluctantly, but okay.
Yeah, no, I'm willing to do this.
Okay, thank you.
I just.
Well,
There's
I
only
have an
there's
answer as well.
there's only one that I think you could do in a way that's that could like subvert the clichéness of the original intent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you could. Yeah, I think there's only one that you could do in a way where it would not be corny.
Okay. JD, what do you think it is?
Well, the least cringy to me is I'll show myself out.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I've heard you use this.
Me personally?
Yes, when a bit has sort of fallen flat.
It's possible. I mean, honestly, I'm a fucking hack. I've probably used all of these. I've never said throw up in my mouth a little bit. My answer is something that I do find myself sometimes saying, or still will laugh at when someone else says, if it's in the right reaction, which, in a sense, when it's not even an appropriate reaction to a thing, it's just a phrase that I find, for some reason, I will smile at, even though it is so hacky and dumb. But, Joe, what is it? What do you think it is?
Mine is thanks, Obama. I think.
Joe, it's fucking thanks, Obama!
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, Joe!
I think as we get further from the Obama era, it is a sort of remnant of, like, it'll just be a sort of, like, sense memory of people being, like, sort of vaguely racist and blaming the man or, like, government for problems that have, really have nothing to do with that person or that administration. And, like, I think in scenarios where it's not political or of the, like, anachronistic, like, it wouldn't match up. Like, I think you could say thanks, Obama, in a way where it would make no sense and be very funny.
Yes.
I completely agree. I think thanks, Obama is going to last to the point where, like, kids will hear it and not know who Obama is.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, we
And
gotta
the
keep
longer it lasts, the funnier it is.
Exactly. I think there's lasting power. And the problem with cliche, but we don't know, right? Because it's like that's the problem with cliches like this is like the first couple times any of those were used, it was funny.
Yeah, exactly. I just what I like about it is that people do say it sincerely. Mm-hmm. Some people in some parts of the country think it's a valid insult,
Yes,
which is
right,
why
yeah,
it is
right.
sort of funny to me. And you know what? I'll even smile at someone saying something in Joe Biden's economy. You know what? I don't mind. I don't mind it. But Joe, man, I'm thrilled that we were aligned. Thanks for coming on. If you've topics, tweet them to me.
I go by Sleepy Joe.
Dark Mandy. It's the new meme coming out.
I love it.
If you have topics, tweet them to me at StartersMatt. Email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Remember to rate us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube. Joe, where can people find you?
I'm basically only on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at Joe Mande. I have a website, joemandy.com, that has all my Michael Clayton merch. I guess I have a TikTok. I don't know how to use it. I love TikTok.
Yeah.
I love watching TikTok. I don't know how to engage. So don't follow me there, but just know that I am watching stuff.
You're lurking.
I'm lurking.
That's right. Are you working on anything you want to tease?
Hacks season 3 coming soon.
Nice.
Is Ray making a reappearance, or is that trade secret?
It is a trade secret, but let's just say the signs point to good.
Thanks for playing in the binary, Joe.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Joe, thanks so much for coming. For everyone, I'm Matt Austin, and this was good. We'll see you next week.